What's going on, guys? Today I'm actually going to start fitting the floor pan, see how the fitment is, start trimming it up a little bit. I'm going to take a break from the rusty area back in the back because don't really feel like getting the welder out yet. I'll probably end up cutting the old rust out a little bit later in the video, but we're going to start off putting the floor pan in. So here is the floor pan. Untouched, right out of the box. And I will put a link into the description as to where I got it. It's good quality, but I wish I could have made this myself, as it wasn't exactly cheap, and it is literally just a piece of metal that they put a few bends in. I wish I could have bent it myself, but I probably would have not done as good of a job for these bends here that go against the rocker. So I guess it was worth it. Now you see this hump here. I guess that is for structural reasons. However, it's kind of useless, and it's right where the frame rail goes. So I really need that area to be flat. So I'm probably going to end up banging that out, flattening it. And then, like I said, these holes here that go along the trans tunnel, I really don't know why they put those there. So we'll have to fill those later, but that's a long way away. They've got a cut here. I guess just so they can bend that metal up. And then a flare here that will probably bend down. So that's the floor pan, and we'll go ahead and throw it in the car for the first time. We'll see how it fits. Alright, so there it is as it's sitting in there. Obviously it's not a perfect fit yet. A lot of modifications need to be done, but looks pretty good against the rocker, which is pretty important. But obviously I'm probably going to be cutting a lot off up there. It's not sitting flush right now, and I think I know why. The floor pan looks like it needs to be bent up. This section here needs to be bent up so that it can lay flatter because of this curvature here. So if I bend this up, it's gonna move this metal back, so then this should fit more flush. So we'll go ahead and start doing that. So I'm just gonna make 2 cuts here, maybe about 3 inches back, and over here about 3 inches back, and then just bend this metal up so it'll fit more flush. Alright, so there's the cuts. That should be plenty enough to bend that metal back. And of course, can always be welded back together. All right, so what I did, I basically beat down that that line that was there. It's pretty well gone, just a little more beaten and smoothing out. Okay, so now that I got it back in here, this straight piece here is hitting on the existing floor pan, so I just need to curl it around that piece that I bent straight up. Just like that. Okay, so you might not be able to tell in the video, but fitment is a lot better than when we started. You probably can't see that it's a little bit crooked on camera. Let me try and bend it up for you. Yeah, you should be able to see that. It's a little bit crooked on camera. I had this problem on the other side. It's really up here where it's the most crooked, leans down to the right towards the rocker. Had this problem on the other side, but once it comes to the back where the seat is going to be, it is pretty flat, so that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and try and level this out. It is hitting down there at the bottom, really where this bulge is for the trans tunnel. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do actually something that I've been dreading to do, which is going ahead and scraping all of the underbody coating off, where I'll be working with the metal and welding. Can't really see it in the video, but it's there, and it's gonna be nasty, and I hate doing it, but it's gotta be done. All right, so a little bit of time later, and this is the aftermath. Pretty messy, but get that light out of here. But there, it's pretty well clean. I didn't get too carried away with it because I can always clean it up more later, and especially along the bottom line, since I'll probably be trimming more metal off, but got the gist of it. Don't need to get every bit of it off, but just the majority. Okay, so next thing on the agenda, I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this out here, because there is this structural piece right here, so I don't need these two pieces of metal overlapping. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out here, so then that way I'll just weld this one piece of metal to the floor pan. Okay, so there it is. That good piece of metal here. That's real sturdy. See more of it. And then it kind of curves there, so that's why I kind of cut this at an angle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit more of this out here, so those two metals don't overlap, make it look a little better. Easier to weld from the bottom side. What's going on, guys? So it's the next day, and we got some snow last night. Just making my way back to the garage. Got a new addition to the garage. Got this heater in here. It says 76 right now. I had the torpedo heater going, but that thing was on all night, so it's pretty warm in here. But I'm not sure where I left off the other day, so we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Gotta turn this light on. here's what it looks like now. Went ahead and cut some more off and smoothed out this line here. In this thing, I'll be able to weld this angle here to the bottom of the floor pan. What else did I do? I don't think I did anything else. So now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this out, clean it up, get that out there. Alright, let's see if we can chisel it out. Alright, so there it is. There was two pinch welds in it, so that's why it took a little bit longer. I had to get the sander, sand those down a little bit. So I just started working on this area right here, and as you can see, there's actually two pieces of metal that were on that, so I'm trying to get this top layer of metal off of this bottom piece here, because there's no reason to have two pieces of metal there, and that top one is kind of rusty, so I'm just trying to chisel that off of there. And I went ahead and cleaned off the excess metal there, and it's looking pretty clean. Alright, so what I want to get done is I want to be able to have a straight line across this piece here all the way over this corner. So I really need to get rid of this kind of triangular area here, so I have a straight weld across. I can just put a straight piece of metal in here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that area up. Alright, so it's pretty clean now. Went ahead and cleaned up the metal. I couldn't get way back in there, but I'll clean that up later. Got all that cleaned some more up over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do some measuring and get a piece of metal to put all the way across here. And I went ahead and got my big sheet of metal here out. You can see I've used some of it already. I don't know how thick it is. It is pretty thick, a lot thicker than just regular sheet metal. I actually was able to use it on my frame rail. It's so thick, probably too thick for what I need, but it's what I've got, and I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and start measuring and then do some cutting. Alright, first thing, before I cut it, I'm going to go ahead and use this sanding disc, and I'm going to clean up a few of these sharp edges because I have cut on this before and they're not exactly flush. So I'm just, while it's still on this big piece of metal and easy to sand, I'm just going to shave it off. Now I just need to take the sanding disc and clean these edges up. Alright, let's see how she fits. Alright, let's go ahead and see how this metal is going to fit in there. Just remember that this is just going to be a piece of metal that kind of comes off of here where this floor pan is going to rest on it. Alright, there it goes. It's just going to rest on this piece over here and this side over here. And then I'm just going to weld it here and along this piece here and under, and then I'm gonna get some probably a little piece of metal to weld this gap up. But once I weld it to this piece here, I mean, this thing's gonna be real sturdy and real good to weld that floor pan to. Now the reason why I cut it short and I didn't come all the way over here is because obviously this is an incline. And there's no real, I mean, I guess I could have probably cut it longer and then bent it up, but I'll probably just leave it like this. I mean, I don't need another piece of metal coming up. This piece of metal was really just to fill this gap here. So this is gonna do just fine. I don't need it to come up here. I mean, I got a good piece of metal here, so I'll just leave it like that. Put some welds here. Fill this here, and then should be good to lay the floor pan on that. I gotta take the sander and clean off this coating on here, but I think this is where I'm gonna leave it off for this video. Next video I'll probably be welding this piece in. I'll probably be cutting a square to fill this hole. I didn't forget about that, and then maybe getting a little piece of metal to fill this. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. I've gotten some new parts in recently, so hopefully I'll be doing some reviews and unboxing videos. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.